All right, guys, well, we are joined back with WEC featherweight title contender Manny Gamburyan. What's going on, Manny?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing much. How's the training going?
Training's going great. So far, so good, man. I can't complain.
Can't complain. I guess you're getting really excited for this. This is a big moment in your career, isn't it?
Very big moment, man. It's like a dream come true fight.
Yeah. Now, here on the Joe Show, we like to get to know the fighters a lot, so I'm going to ask you some questions about your earlier life. Mainly, I'm going to go ahead and start in 1991, when your family came over from Armenia. I actually did some background information on Wikipedia trying to figure out what was going on in Armenia at the time when your family came over to the States, and actually, that was the year that they had gained independence from the USSR. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit on what your life was like and just how it was living in Armenia during that kind of rough period it seems like it was for the country.
The roughness started in 1988 when the big, huge earthquake happened, especially in my country. It was Armenia, and the little town that I was from, it's called Manny Gamburyan. When it hit it, the epicenter was there. And, I had a house. Thank God I wasn't living in an apartment, but at the same time, it damaged the whole country, and Armenia is not too big, and it damaged the whole country, We were struggling, this and that, no light, no food, no water, like the whole country, the whole people were struggling, but, I was kind of, my family was kind of rich, and, we helped. I wasn't struggling that bad, but, we were scared if not a, earthquake coming up, but it was a really big one. It was an earthquake, man, it was something huge, man. He, cracked the whole Armenian, we were all struggling. Everybody was struggling. Family was struggling. Cousins, my little cousin passed away, and, it was pretty bad, man. So it was 1988, and then after that, the whole Armenia was struggling, and, we decided, I had a lot of friends in the United States. My parents thought about, moving to the United States was a much better idea, and, we've done the paperwork 1990, and hopefully it worked out, and, 1991, May 31st, I came to the United States.
Now, during that time, in 1991, I'm just going off of Wikipedia, so just tell me if I'm wrong with anything, but it seems like there was a lot of prejudice against the Armenian people with some other group. I'm not even going to attempt to name them, but I read something on Wikipedia where this group, whoever they were like some anti-Armenian group. They ran 200,000 Armenians out of the capital city. Did you get to witness any of that?
Not really. You have to remember, at the time I was like 7 years old. So at 1988, I was 7 years old, so I don't remember much stuff. But what I remember, it was a very hard moment for not only for me and for my country. It was pretty hard, struggling. So what I remember, it was something bad, man. The earthquake was freaking strong as hell.
Okay, so it was mainly just the earthquake that was the reason that y'all moved. It wasn't really Armenian relationships with other countries at the time.
No, man, definitely it wasn't that. It was just, my family, they felt more comfortable, moving to the United States, and had a lot of cousins, my aunts, and my grandpa, so everybody was here, so we decided to move over here.
Okay, now, in your last fight against Matt Brown, you used the term genocide a lot. I believe there's a genocide day in Armenia from, what happened with Turkey back in the early 1900s. And it seems like, some people are across the board with that. I was going to get your take on what the term genocide means to you, because it seems like some people were weary of you using that term, and some people were giving you props because you did. So could you just tell us your stance on that word and what it means to you?
I can say a couple of words, man. I don't want to, make it a big deal, but it is what it is, man. I was fighting. First of all, there's fights that you need motivation, right? Like, you're fighting nobody and, it doesn't motivate you. But for me, every fight motivates me. But at that time, when I was fighting Mike Brown, first of all, I have tons of respect towards Mike Brown. I have tons of respect towards every opponent in my life. It doesn't matter who I fight. I give tons of respect. If you're going to step in the cage, it's going to sound pretty freaking weird, but you have to have balls to stay in the ring, get in the fighting zone. But, I was fighting Mike Brown. When I got the call from Sean Shelby that I was fighting Mike Brown, and when I found out the date, it was April 24th, it was the 95th anniversary of Armenian genocide when they had, against Turks, we got killed more than 1.5 million Armenians. So it was a sad day for me, but it is what it is, man. I didn't need any more motivation for that fight. I'm like, you know what? I'm very happy that I'm fighting Mike Brown. I'm very happy that I'm going to, stay over there. And, I didn't care that if it was going to tap me out, submit me, knock me out, gun and pound. I'm like, you got to kill me to beat me. They feel, they killed my country. Like, I looked at Mike Brown, that was a Turk, and, I was going to go out there and perform the best that I can, So thank God he came out really good. Like I said, I dedicate that fight for the Armenian genocide. It was 95th anniversary of an Armenian genocide, but it is what it is, man. Past is a past. I don't want to rejoin it and talk about that stuff anymore, but, if you ask me the question, I'm trying to, explain to you what's wrong with it. And us, Armenians against Turks, we got, a lot of bad blood, and, we got some beef over there, but it is what it is, man. It's past is a past, but people ask me a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to bring up anything it cause any controversy. I just wanted to hear it from you, because I'm really ignorant to what that really means. So I just wanted to hear it from your mouth. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it to one of my co-hosts now. Alex, go ahead, man.
Hey, Manny, how's it going?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Great, man. Let's jump right into your fight coming up here. The biggest fight of your career thus far. Is that safe to say?
Most definitely, man. Jose Aldo is a phenom. He's a great fighter, great champion. I'm going to go out there and perform my best and take the belt from him and bring it to L.A.
Yeah, it's funny because in your last fight against Mike Brown, you were counted out in that one. Not many people gave you a chance. You were a big underdog, and you knocked him out pretty quickly. And here you are in a similar situation against Jose Aldo, where you're a big underdog according to the sports books, and a lot of people are counting you out in this fight, despite what happened in your last one. So all the hype aside, acknowledging that Jose Aldo is a great fighter, but all the hype aside, how do you think you match up with him stylistically?
To be honest with you, I think I'm a bad matchup for him, dude. Because if you look at my, nobody pushed him. Nobody pushed this guy to the limit that, put him in bad situations or, put him in a weird spot or anybody. Like I'm saying it. I'm not taking anything away from the Anderson Silva's opponents. He's a great fighter. I think he's the greatest fighter of all time for me. He's a legend in the sport. He's a phenomenal fighter. But whoever steps up with him, look at their faces. First of all, they're very happy that they made it to the finals and they're fighting, Anderson Silva. They're giving him too much credit. They're already scared to step up in the octagon and fight. One advantage on me, I'm not going to be scared of Jose Aldo. That's for sure. Nobody's going to scare me. I'm fighting for a belt, and I have nothing to lose. Whatever he has, that I wanted. So he's got the gold. I'm going for the gold.
Do you think that when Uriah Faber fought Jose Aldo that Faber gave him too much respect in that fight?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Uriah Faber is a better fighter. He's a good fighter. But I'm not saying he's a better fighter than Jose Aldo. No, but the thing is, he was already, beat up, inside mentally that he's fighting Jose Aldo and he's fighting for a belt. But, he was a champion. He was a great fighter, and he was a great champion. But I think he was pretty scared fighting Jose Aldo. And Jose Aldo is a phenom. He's a great fighter. I'm not taking anything from him. It's honor fighting that guy. But, I'm not going to be scared for the fighting. I'm more excited that I'm fighting Jose Aldo, and I better fight the best Jose Aldo. That's all matters.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Fedor Emelianenko lose to Fabricio Verdum, and, he could have been like a lot of Fedor's other opponents and said, oh, it's Fedor, I'm just going to try to do well, and whatever happens, happens. But he said, no, I'm going to go in there and beat him, and that's why he won.
They're very happy that if they're fighting Fedor. It doesn't matter if it's Fedor, man. Go out there and perform, show the world what you can do. You're beating Fedor. That's what he did, man. He showed a lot of heart. Come on. People say he got lucky. Nobody gets lucky, dude. He made a huge, gigantic, craziest move and triangle. He made a big mistake, and he got caught.
Yeah. So for the Jose Aldo fight, how do you see it going down? How do you see the fight playing out?
I got a good game plan for him, man. I got a very good training partners. A lot of Muay Thai fighters, a lot of wrestlers, a lot of jiu-jitsu guys. The guy is very hard to take down. The guy he sees the fight. He's a phenomenal stand-up fighter. He throws a lot of leg kicks. He throws, he follows up with his punches. So I'm preparing the worst, man. It can go either way, man. It can go either way. But let me tell you one thing. He never got hit like the power that I have. Because I can hit really hard and I can take punch. So we'll see, Manny. You're gonna beat me. You better freaking take me out. Because if you leave me one space, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
To listen to the rest of the interview with Manny Gamburyan, go to www.joeshowradio.com.